There is a page on Nike. Calm right now. The product code reads IM 9420-417. The colorway is called Old Royal, a deep, saturated blue with black and white outlines and mesh cut in a pattern borrowed from a basketball backboard. The name of the item is the Nike Court Slam Women's DRI Fit Tennis Dress. It is available in sizes extra small through large. The price is $140. The face listed in the imagery circulating this week belongs to a 21-year-old left-handed Filipina named Alex Eala. Sports Illustrated's tennis vertical broke the news within the past 7 days. The dress Eala is expected to wear in New York for the 2026 US Open has been publicly launched at retail. The tennis world is still processing what that sentence actually means because a Nike.com product page is not a gift. It is not a favor. It is not sentiment. It is a bet. And Nike has just placed one in Old Royal Blue on a Filipina athlete who 3 weeks ago was not yet a WTA champion. To understand why a $140 dress is a story, you have to understand what Nike does not do. Nike does not put untested names on live SKUs during the American hardcourt swing. Their current signature female tennis athlete globally is exactly one person, Naomi Osaka. Even her collections are released with the caution of a brand that has, by its own recent behavior, been slow to elevate anyone at all. Jannik Sinner's Nike logo has been on paper for nearly 2 years and still is not on shelves. Carlos Alcaraz's trademarked logo has yet to debut. Zheng Qinwen has an apparel line, but only in Asia. Into that vacuum walks a player currently ranked world number 20, the first Filipina in history to sit inside the WTA top 20. The dress is not a coronation. It is something quieter and, in commercial terms, more revealing. Before we go further, the honest counterargument. Skeptics on tennis Reddit and elsewhere have pointed out, correctly, that the Nike Court Slam dress is a shared design. Other Nike contracted players will wear versions of the same silhouette in different colorways. Aryna Sabalenka is wearing a variation from the same collection and has already fielded her own share of online commentary about it, telling reporters this month that you cannot impress everyone with your outfits. So no, this is not a bespoke Alex Eala dress cut from a pattern she personally sketched. It is a stock Nike Court Slam garment, and Nike is using Eala as the face of its US Open marketing cycle. That is the fair read. Any story that pretends otherwise is not worth listening to, but sit with what that fair read actually implies. Nike is a company that spends the American hardcourt swing carefully. The US Open is a home game for the brand, its most valuable tennis storefront in its most valuable tennis market during its most valuable tennis month. When Nike chooses which player anchors the launch photography, which player is credited in the SI Serve headline, which player is tagged in the Instagram Reels going up this week, that choice is not accidental. It is a marketing department deciding whose face converts. And on the 2026 Nike Court Slam dress, the face they chose is not Sabalenka's, not Pegula's, and not Goff's. It is Eala's. As Sports Illustrated Serve Vertical put it plainly in their report this week, if anything can jolt Nike awake in tennis, it is the rapid rise of Eala. That is not a fan quote. That is an industry outlet reading Nike's own behavior. So the tension in this story is not villain versus hero. It is legitimacy versus leverage, and the evidence has to earn the answer. Start with the product page, because the product page is the receipt. Nike Court Slam Women's DRI Fit Tennis Dress. Product code IM 9420-417. $140. Available for order at Nike.com. Sizes extra small through large. Nike's own product description, which anyone can read, says players can strike first in this lightweight slam dress, and that the basketball-inspired detailing helps Nike's elite tennis players feel like they've won before they even step on the court. That is not fan copy. That is corporate copy on a live SKU that Nike has decided to release inside the same news cycle as Eala's kit reveal. This is the first evidence point, and it is the smallest and heaviest one at the same time. The question the rest of this story has to answer is simple. How did that SKU get there? It got there because of what happened on August 3rd in Washington, D.C. Eala walked onto the final court of the Mubadala City DC Open, a WTA 500 event, and beat the top seed Jessica Pegula 4-6, 6-4, 6-0, a bagel in the third set against a former US Open finalist in Pegula's home country. That match made Eala the first Filipina in the history of professional tennis to win a WTA singles title and the first Filipina to win a WTA 500. It was not an upset in the small sense. It was an upset in the industry sense, the sense that reprices sponsorship contracts and moves a name from the watch list tab in a Nike marketing spreadsheet to the activate tab. Everything downstream from that final flows from those 3 sets. Toronto was the second data point. At the National Bank Open, a WTA 1000, she defeated Alicia Parks 6-1, 4-6, 6-2 in the second round. Then she defeated the 7th seed and hometown favorite Leylah Fernandez 6-2, 7-6 in a one-sided tiebreak. She lost in the round of 16 to Belinda Bencic. We will come back to that loss. But the sessions she played in were, by multiple reports, sold out. Fans traveled. Some behaved beautifully, some rowdily. Tennis columnists spent the following week debating whether her fanbase was good for the sport or too much for it. Every one of those debates is in the language of a marketing department. Engagement. Every one of those tickets is in the language of a sponsor. Conversion. Sponsors do not measure poetry. They measure whether a name moves a room. Then came the ranking. As of the most recent WTA update, Eala sits at world number 20, a career high and the first time a player from the Philippines has ever occupied that address on the tour. She is not defending any points at Cincinnati this week, which means if her run continues, she can climb further. A top 16 seeding at the US Open is genuinely in play. That is not a marketing narrative. That is arithmetic. And arithmetic is the language Nike speaks when a product manager signs off on a dress launch. Take a breath here because there is a temptation when a story lines up this cleanly to sprint to the finish and call it a coronation. It is not a coronation. Alex Eala is not the next Serena. She is not, at time of writing, a Nike signature athlete. That distinction globally on the women's tennis side still belongs to Osaka alone. Eala has previously received limited edition Nike apparel capsules in select markets, and she appeared on the cover of Vogue Philippines in August 2025 wearing signature Nike court attire, which was itself the first tremor. What is happening now is the second tremor. It is bigger than the first. It is not yet the earthquake. Keep that scale in mind. Which brings us to the market read, the third cluster of evidence, and the part of the story that a general sports audience tends to miss. Nike has been, by its own recent record, in a strange holding pattern in tennis. The post-Serena, post-Nadal era has left the brand with a legacy of the sport's biggest names and a shortage of new ones. Osaka's Nike kits sell out. The brand has proof of concept there. But every player after her has been developed slowly, cautiously, market by market. Zheng's line is Asia only. Sinner and Alcaraz, despite being men's number 1 and men's number 2 for stretches of the past year, still do not have signature product on general shelves. Into that hesitation walks a Filipina left-hander who in 8 months has taken herself from just inside the top 100 to inside the top 20, who has won a 500 by bageling the world number 3, who has already sold out arenas in Toronto, and whose Vogue cover in Manila performed. A Nike product manager looks at that trajectory and does the only rational thing a Nike product manager can do. They put a dress on the site and they price it at $140 because that is what Nike prices its elite tennis dresses at, the same tier as its other slam kits. Not a discount. Not a novelty markup. The elite athlete tier. Now hold both readings at once. Yes, the dress is a generic Nike court slam silhouette. Yes, Sabalenka is in the same collection. Yes, other Nike players will wear versions of it. And also, Nike chose Eala's face for the campaign photography. Nike allowed Sports Illustrated to publish a piece with a headline, "Nike is dropping Alex Eala's 2026 US Open dress," a headline that, note carefully, uses her name possessively. Nike did not correct that framing. Nike did not push a different athlete forward to share the spotlight. That silence, in a corporation this deliberate, is not silence. It is confirmation. And this, right here, is the emotional turn of the story. Nike did not put her name on the box. Nike put her face on the site. In a brand ecosystem where a signature logo takes years and a shared kit takes a season, being the face of the shared kit is exactly the on-ramp that a signature deal is built on. The dress is a bridge product, and Eala is standing on it. Zoom out one more time because the American market read is only half of what the $140 dress means. The other half is what it means in Manila. The Philippines is a country of roughly 117 million people with, until this decade, essentially no presence in the WTA main draw. Not top 20 presence. No presence. Alex Eala is the first player from her country to enter the WTA rankings top 100, then the top 50, then the top 20, all inside a 2-year window. Nike's own limited edition capsules for her have been built around Filipino visual language, Sampaguita motifs, colorways drawn from national symbolism, product photography grounded in Manila design studios. What is happening at the US Open in 3 weeks is that same visual language moving from a Philippines-only product page to Nike.com's global storefront. A Filipino name is now, in the most literal transactional sense possible, converting American retail dollars for the world's largest sports apparel brand. That has never happened before in tennis. It has in fact rarely happened before in any global sport. And it is worth stating plainly, without inflating it, this is a first. Not a first with an asterisk. Not a first in a niche. A first on the front page. Which is why the moment now demands the discipline of remembering the loss. Because 3 days before the Cincinnati Open began, Alex walked off court in Toronto having been beaten by Belinda Bencic 6-4, 6-0, a bagel in the second set. It ended a 7-match win streak that had spanned her DC title and her Toronto run. It was a hard, cold, decisive loss to a player at the top of her form. Eala did not spin it. She did not perform the loss. She acknowledged it publicly, reframed it as fuel, and boarded a flight to Cincinnati, where 3 days later she was seeded 17th in a WTA 1000 with a first-round bye and no points to defend. That is the entire shape of a professional athlete's month compressed. The dress is on Nike.com. The bagel is on the record. Both are true. Both belong in the same story. Neither cancels the other. And in a comment after her opening round comeback against Jung Chin-won in Washington, where she had climbed out of a set and a breakdown to win 4-6, 6-4, 6-1, she said one sentence that this script has been building toward. She said, "I've already had that in me." 6 words. Not a slogan. Not a merchandise line. A 21-year-old quietly telling the WTA press room that whatever the world had just witnessed was not the surprise she was told it was. It was the thing she had been carrying. That is the sentence that a Nike product manager watching The Wire would have highlighted. That is the sentence that goes into a pitch deck under a photograph of a dress in old royal blue. So return to the product page. Product code IM 9420-417. $140. Sizes extra small through large. The dress is not a signature piece. Alex Eala is not yet a signature athlete. This is not the coronation. But it is the room. And the room matters, because the room she is standing in this week, whether the general tennis audience has noticed yet or not, is the room where Nike's marketing team decides which women can move a live SKU during the US Open. It is a room that for years held one chair, and Naomi Osaka was in it. There are now, quietly, 2 chairs. A Filipina left-hander from Quezon City has been allowed to sit in one of them. In roughly 10 days, she will walk out onto Arthur Ashe Stadium or Louis Armstrong Stadium or one of the outer courts wearing that dress. And every American viewer watching will be looking at the same garment they can order that night for $140. That is a first for her country. It is a bridge for her career. And whatever comes next, Cincinnati, New York, the next contract cycle starts from this address. Alex Eala is in the room now. What she does inside it is the next episode.